Uh, Time to kick off my shoes, loosen my tie, and put away my noose. Time to relax with a good old video game. But what do I feel for today? Online? Not too salty. RPG? Not too long. Shooter? Yeah, there's the shooter. Yeah, shooter. What shooter do I feel for today? I actually feel like shooting some superior race looking wankers today. Okay, yeah, that's what I feel for. Yeah, let's go Wolfenstein! Yeah, but alright. Continue now. I don't even remember playing this game. Okay, I'm gonna go with new game today. Okay, new game. Yeah. Okay, difficulty. Mein Leben. I don't know. I don't feel like playing on something hard today. I wanna relax. Okay, I'm gonna go with the easiest. I'm gonna relax. Man, now I gotta ask my dad. God fucking damn it. Yeah, so he told me to stop being gay and weird. I really hate difficulty settings in games. Let me explain. Easy, medium hard, or extra hard. Difficulty settings in video games have always been a problem for me. Like it's a mental issue. If ever a game offers me an easy difficulty, I immediately interpret it as a passive-aggressive way of calling me a pussy. Like, who in the goddamn dick does a developer think it is to call me bitch made? I'm not bitch made. I live in Africa, for fuck's sakes. I just can't allow it. My brain can't allow me to pick easy, cause it translates the word easy into you're a bitch, go suck on your mom's titties.
You a bitch ass nigga. Hey.
Honestly, I'd rather shove toothpicks underneath my nails than be regarded as a filthy casual. Well, that's obviously an exaggeration, but I do feel quite strongly about this. That's why I really like developers like From Software, who doesn't put the difficulty option in their video games and gladly proceeds to take your money and anally abuse you afterwards. A stand-up company, 5 stars. But yeah, before I get into my weird desire to impress myself and abuse myself at the same time, I think I should explain that a game can bump up difficulty in 2 ways. The first is obviously making the enemies harder or the main player less durable. You know, the typical shit. Enemies are bullet sponges, their damage output disconnect to fuck you, and all of a sudden the character you play with goes from Superman to Snowflake. It's really lazy, to be honest. However, what bugs me even more is the second way of bumping up difficulty, and that is by way of changing elements within the game. But I'm gonna get into that later. A challenging game is a good game for me. As I said before, I love the From Software games, but the Soul series is nothing without it being difficult. It would just fade into another bland RPG series. But as we know, From Software doesn't give its players the option to automatically be a badass motherfucker. No, you gotta earn that title. Other games, however, yeah, they wrap casuals up in warm blankets and swaddles them and, tells them that they're the greatest at whatever they're playing. If everything was up to me, every game would be as tough as sun-baked nipples. It pisses me off to this day how inferior easy mode The Last of Us is compared to survival mode The Last of Us. Blows my fucking mind. But yeah, what I'm essentially trying to say is that a game is better when it's challenging. Now don't get me wrong, I don't dislike easy video games, and I do understand that not every game needs to be difficult. Casuals are people too. There needs to be easy video games. But don't give players the option then. No, don't do that. I feel like it's fucking dishonest. I need devs to be real with me. Make a game as intended. If a dev wants an experience to be fun for casuals, then make it an easy game. Simple as that. If a dev wants to make a game challenging, then make it challenging without any quarter for an easy way through. Simple as that. And if a dev wants to make it accessible to both casuals and hardcore players, then do it properly. And there's 2 ways of doing this. Guys. First and foremost, it is possible to make a game accessible to both people looking to relax and people looking for an excuse to boot their 2-year-old across the room.
Take the baby.
And it's possible to do so without having us choose between some stupid ass difficulty settings. Nintendo. Their games are marketed at kids their games are marketed at kids, but it can be bought by both kid and adult alike because their games can be beaten by kids and casuals, but at the same time can be challenging for more hardcore players. Example, Mario 64 has you running your mushroom eye ass around to collect stars. Beat a challenge, get a star. There's 120 challenges in total, but you only need 70 to beat the game. As such, Nintendo made it so that some challenges are harder than others. Any loser can get 70 stars and rub one off in victory, but only the true champs can get all 120. Therefore, the game appeals to both casuals and hardcore players without there being a need to choose your difficulty. It's brilliant. I think a lot of JRPGs use the same tactic actually. This leads me to the second option developers have, which is by way of rewarding players for effort. In the past, a few games would actually reward the player with secret areas, secret endings, unique items, and whatever weird shit for playing the game on its hardest setting.
A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
Today, however, well, we just get some bullshit achievement and some gay ass trophy. It's as boring as porno blowjobs. Worthless. I mean, come on, if you're gonna put in a hardcore difficulty, at least give the players something extra that casuals can't get. The tough deserve more than just a busted up TV and a nagging wife telling you that you got anger problems and that she's gonna leave your Dorito smelling ass if you don't go to therapy. It's messed up and unfair. Reward your damn players. Now, I'm not wholly against difficulty settings. As I said, if they reward players meaningfully, I see no problem with it. However, there's one instance where I have mixed feelings, and that's where gameplay elements change. To give you an example, the Resident Evil 2 remake. Great game, highly recommended. If you play the game on its easiest difficulty, enemies will be easier to put down, and I think Leon and Claire, the main characters, are much tougher. I think. I didn't play the game on easy because I walk with my nuts scraping on the floor.
Buffalo soldier in the heart of America, stolen from Africa, brought into America. She was fighting on the rival.
Anyway, if you play the game on its hardest difficulty, the enemies are much tougher and you're less tough. Typical, but here's the kicker. On easy, there's an autosave system. On survivor, you have a limited number of saves. Excuse me. To give a better explanation, typewriters act as save stations in RE2. However, to use these typewriters, you need to use an ink ribbon, which is a limited item spread throughout the map of the game. I think there's also less bullets on the hardest setting as well. So to sum up, they try to scare you and make you rage. As I said, highly recommended. But yeah, I assume you understand. There's a whole different save system based on what difficulty you choose, which seems inconsequential on the face of it, but affects the intensity of the game to a huge degree. Now, there's two games that give me mixed feelings on difficulty, which essentially changes the game. The Last of Us and Devil May Cry. Resident Evil 2 kinda, but not so much. Now, for anybody who remembers The Last of Us, the game essentially feels different depending on what difficulty you're playing on. Play on easy and it feels like a run and gun game with a good story. Play on survivor, however, resources are scarcer and enemies are far more rare. All of a sudden, stealth becomes your best friend and you can feel your disease heart pumping. If you play on survivor, the good story feels like a bonus instead of the most important aspect. It's just way more fun and immersive in my masochistic opinion. But The Last of Us is not the positive feelings of my mixed feelings, if that makes sense. It's the negative. Reason being that the game feels so negatively different that it makes you wonder if people truly experience the best of it. Like, imagine playing a game on easy and writing the game off as boring, when in fact it's a great game when you play it on survivor, or on its hardest difficulty. Another reason why I feel a bit negative toward The Last of Us is that it essentially holds your hand even when you're playing on the hardest setting. And with that, I'm referring to the autosave system, which pops up like every fucking 2 minutes like your mom when you're trying to shoot one off. Granted, it's in the kitchen, but you know, have some respect for your creepy son. Anyway, I guarantee you, if The Last of Us had a save system like Dead Space or Resident Evil 2, it would be a far more legendary game as it is right now. Now for the positive of my mixed feelings, Devil May Cry. Now Devil May Cry is really kinda clever with its difficulty setting, but at the same time kinda ridiculous as fuck. It essentially rewards the player who plays on hard with more challenging difficulty settings. Absolutely demented if you ask me. But it works because of one reason. The higher settings are completely fucking whack. To give you an example, there's a difficulty setting where enemies can one-shot your demon slaying booty. Not only bosses, but normal enemies can hit you once and you'll just die.
The fight clock is brought to you by Modelo.
Now this works because of how ridiculous it is. If that setting was the base setting, the game would not be well received and probably be very niche. But it works as a choice. But yeah, that's essentially how I feel about difficulty settings. It's garbage at the moment. And I wish most devs can implement settings which encourage players to take the hard road instead of the flower covered path. I want everyone to swear uncontrollably and consider their financial situations as they lift up their controllers or grip their keyboards. But I also want every player to be washed over with that huge sense of accomplishment, only to realize later that your love and work life is still utter trash. So yeah, if you watch this poorly made garbage, I'd like to give you a thumbs up and hope that the next game you play makes you throw your cat out the window. Peace out and good luck to you.